Here are 5 self-care tips that actually saved my life. I see so many self-care saying, take a bath, take a walk, do your hair and makeup. But I know for a fact at my time of when I was feeling desperately lost and depressed and couldn't even look at myself in the mirror, the last thing I wanted to do was take a bath. The last thing I wanted to do was do my makeup, get dressed, do my hair. So here are 5 things that actually saved my life. A little bit about my story. 8 years ago, I wrote my suicide letter. I dropped off my kids at a very safe spot. I left my letter on my husband's nightstand, and I grabbed our gun and I went to the police station. My plan was to call the police station, tell them that there was, a suspicious car out front, and I was going to do it. In a matter of seconds of me doing it, I got a call from my kids, and on the other end, the lady said, I think she just needs her mommy. And I could hear her whining my name in the background. And everything just changed from then. I swore to myself that I was going to find my happiness, that I was going to find my way out and be the person that I am today. And without these 5 things, I would not be here. The biggest thing that worked for me was hypnosis. And I know when I say that to people, they're like, that's weird, that's like hippy dippy, whatever. But our subconscious mind is literally patterns of thinking, patterns of doing. And mine was so mean to me. I was the meanest person I could be to myself. Since the morning I woke up till I went to bed at night, I was saying the meanest things possible to me, and it was on a loop, and I didn't know how to stop it. So if you're struggling with something like that, look for a free voice on YouTube and look up what you're struggling with. It could be anything. You could write in hypnosis for weight, hypnosis for self-talk, hypnosis for being a better person, whatever it is. There is hypnosis tracks on it. Find a voice that you like and listen to it every day, every night if you have to. And over time, it will change your thought processes. You're making new connections in your brain. And at the beginning, I felt stupid. I felt like this isn't going to work. This is wasting my time. But slowly but surely, I was starting to be nice to myself. I was starting to give myself grace, and I was starting to give myself the power that I needed. It gently reprograms your thoughts, your processes. And honestly, that was the biggest thing. And I will preach about it all day long. Second thing, somatic tracking. So what this is to me was every time I did have a bad thought, even now till this day, if I have a bad thought or a bad just whatever, I try to realize where it's coming from and why I may be feeling that way with grace and love and with understanding, instead of trying to push it down and judge myself. I allow myself to hold that feeling and let it go with love. And that could be feelings towards myself, towards other people, whatever it may be. Like if I'm stuck in traffic and I'm getting mad at the person in front of me and getting like really mad, I try to stop myself and analyze where that's coming from and why I'm feeling this way. Yes, it may be because they're being a dumbass, but half the time it has more to do with you than it does them. Number 3, moving your body is so important. I did not realize how much I was not moving in that time when I was so depressed. I got a Fitbit tracker watch, and the first month that I wore it, I was getting less than I kid you not, less than 1,000 steps a day, sometimes 500, sometimes 300. And movement really catapulted my healing journey. Moving your lymphatic system is so important. In your lymphatic, there's waste, toxic fluid underneath your skin, and you need to get it moving. And also, when you're sitting all the time, you're cutting off your main lymph nodes, like your knees, your armpits. When you're always curled up like this, your knees are bent, these are some of your biggest lymph nodes, and you're not moving it. So you really need to move your lymph system. You need to move your body. Stagnation in the lymph can make you feel tired, heavy, and inflamed, and I felt that for years. Number 4, your food, your minerals, your vitamins are going to save your life. I promise you. Are you really depressed, or have you been eating crappy food for the longest time? Have you only been living off of bags of chips or things in boxes or stuff from a can? I started drinking a crap ton of tea. I started incorporating things like holy basil, ashwagandha, St. John's wort, lemon balm, taking minerals like magnesium, calcium, zinc, B12, D3, vitamin C. Some of my favorites are, I wrote them down, L-theanine, 5-HTP, omega-3, NAC, and it's SAM with an E, so same. But you don't know how much your body is struggling when you don't have those vitamins, when you don't have those minerals. And that has just made my mind clear. There were days that I just wanted to lay in bed and rot and never get up. The vitamins, the nutrients really helped my body want to move. My 5th thing is do something to release the pain. Do something that sparks joy. Even if you don't feel joyful when you first start, it will add up and you will start looking forward to it. Art, creative writing, poetry, singing, dancing, putting your all into a business. You can ask my kids how much I sing. Every day I'm freaking singing. Sometimes at the top of my freaking lungs, just walking around my house, and my kids are used to it. That is one of the ways that I healed. And if you find an outlet, hold it tight, use it every day, no matter what it is. And I say all this not to take credit away from a nice hot bath or, sipping tea or, whatever the other self-care girlies say, because that is important. It's important to love yourself, but it's really hard to love yourself when your brain isn't working with you. There were times that I didn't look at myself in the mirror for 6 months or more, or I couldn't get myself up to just take care of my bare minimum needs. So we're talking about the floor right here. And so I look at those self-care tips as like the ceiling. If you don't have the floor, you're not going to be able to reach the ceiling. So start with things that are very impactful to you, that are going to change your mindset and the way you believe about yourself.